Let's take a look at the PSVR launch lineup and review it as a whole. Let me know if you will buy the PSVR and what you think of the launch lineup in the comments down below, and don't forget to hit that like button. There are around 25 PlayStation VR launch titles available on October 13th. The first thing you see when shopping for PSVR launch games is that the price difference is pretty big. They seem to start at $20 like Until Dawn Rush of Blood. I've played it, it was a great experience. Hopefully it will be longer than what I've played, but still I saw some replay value because of the depth and the way you get a higher score. That will be just perfect to have some friends over and try to beat each other. For $60 we have Eve Valkyrie, for example. The PC version has a 67 on Metacritic right now. According to the reviews, it's cool because it's a VR battleship game, but on the other hand, the game does lack some depth, according to reviews. It seems that the $60 price tag is a little bit too high, but on the other hand, it's like the only realistic space fighting sim that is not like a minigame like the Battlefront X-Wing mission and the one you get with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It's super interesting that developers are already experimenting with the price here, and I think that it will be good for reviews to take that into account as well. Another takeaway of course is that there's no real big Sony IP right now. Where is an Uncharted VR game or God of War where you can slice the head off of the different gods in VR? Of course it's a new system, so people are open to more new IPs, but on the other hand, it's also cool to experience a franchise you know and love in VR. It would be cool if there was like an Infamous or Ratchet & Clank game coming or another big Sony IP, but right now we don't see any big first-party games coming in the upcoming lineup. Okay, Gran Turismo Sport, but that's not really made for the PlayStation VR. Is Sony not dedicated to bring their big games to the platform? It's hard to think otherwise right now. On the other hand, we do have some big third-party IPs that bring a PSVR experience alongside the release of their normal game. Titles like Final Fantasy 15, Call of Duty, Star Wars Battlefront and Rise of the Tomb Raider all have a, from what it looks like, small experience for the hardware for people that bought the game. It's cool, but it's still not really that full-fledged game that we want. Like I said, Battlefront and Call of Duty are both spaceflight games, while in Rise of the Tomb Raider you can experience a DLC mission in first person in VR. Still, a mission, not a full game. Okay, it's still cool to see that the big holiday titles will get a PSVR tie-in. If we look at all the PlayStation VR launch games, it's also pretty clear that there are a lot of genres available, which of course good to have something for everyone. Competitive shooter fans can play Riggs, my most anticipated PSVR game from the creators of Killzone Mercenary for PS Vita, by the way. Really check that game out if you haven't already. Horror fans on PlayStation VR have Here They Lie, and also a Resident Evil 7 demo to play. Rhythm games are available like Thumper, on-rail shooters like Res Infinite, and of course Until Dawn. Drive Club will have PSVR support. There are space games like the titles I already mentioned, adventure games like Batman Arkham VR, and Loading Human, which looks pretty interesting. It's like an episodic story adventure game. A ton of games require PlayStation Move though, like Loading Human. I mean, some games like Until Dawn can be played with a controller as well, but they can really see that you miss the precision which is needed to get the highest score. Looks like a good tip is buying some cheap Move controllers right now. It's really the way to go if you want to play games like Batman, VR Worlds, Job Simulator and Res Infinite. Is the PSVR a competitor of Oculus and Vive? Kinda, I mean they're both VR units but on a different device. Someone with a PS4 doesn't necessarily have a PC though to run a VR unit on it, and the other way around. Still, Sony has a nice slate of exclusives to fight in the VR war. The big one being Batman Arkham VR, and that's a year one exclusive to the platform. Same goes for experience from the third-party games I already mentioned. It seems that Sony is willing to invest in some exclusive games, which is nice. It will be interesting to see if all the games will be worth the money at launch. I mean, we can expect something when spending $60 on a game, and I can imagine that, for example, Battlezone is worth the $60. I played it, was not really impressed with it, and if you just look at the game, and I don't really want to brag it too much, but it doesn't look like this full-fledged $60 game that you want to spend all your money on. I love to be proven wrong, but right now I'm curious to see how this game will sell. The time versus money thing will be an interesting discussion going forward. I mean, Batman is probably going to be awesome. I mean, I love the 30 minutes that I played it, but is a 1-hour experience worth $20. So it will be interesting to follow the PSVR business model for sure. As for the games, I think it's a pretty solid launch lineup, especially with games like Batman Arkham VR and Riggs. I see Riggs in particular being one of the only games with a real replay value right now, which is great and needed to make people wear the VR headset over and over again. Hopefully we will see more full-fledged games though in the future. I mean, it would be awesome if The Last of Us 2 had PlayStation VR support, for example, that give the PSVR players a real big new experience. Let me know what you think of the PlayStation VR launch lineup in the comments down below. Like the video if you did, subscribe for more PSVR content coming up after the launch and before launch. Thanks a lot for watching, I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.